The hunt for the Inhuman Lash is on. Coulson gets a little chummier with the ATCU and Rosalind Price. And Hunter tracks down Ward. But at what cost? It's an exciting episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 4. Devils You Know. Spoilers ahead, just so you know. So this week's episode opens up with Alicia, multiple girl from last season, and she has come to S.H.I.E.L.D. for help. Someone is hunting Inhumans, and she needs S.H.I.E.L.D.'s help to track them down, to find them. Which is kind of an interesting bent from last season. Last season she was with Jiang and the rest of the Inhumans against S.H.I.E.L.D. So evidently in the time between them, she has come to some agreement. They've determined that she's not violent, or at least not a threat to S.H.I.E.L.D. or anyone else. She seems to be out on her own, with the implication that she has, again, come to them for help. We also meet two new Inhumans. Who they are doesn't really matter because they're dead within minutes when Lash shows up, takes them out, takes out one of Alicia's multiples. Alicia herself is actually on a Quinjet with Coulson at the moment, who then calls in Mac and Daisy to go after Lash, which is not successful. He's able to get away. What we do find out is they've been using a computer virus to hunt down the other Inhumans. By tracking that back, they run into a Dwight Fry. Now, Dwight is an Inhuman who has recently changed. We know he's recently changed because he has still left his cocoon remnants in the middle of his living room. Why? I don't know. He doesn't seem to enjoy his Inhuman change, so why he would keep this around, I'm not entirely sure, but it's a good plot mover, at least. Now we get a little insight into Lash's motivations. Lash feels that what he is doing is necessary. For Dwight, who's not very happy about changing into an Inhuman, he feels that S.H.I.E.L.D. should be helping Lash take out the Inhumans, that they are horrible things, that they are suffering, and who would want to live like this? Daisy obviously kind of feeling a bit of a tinge in hearing him say this. But Lash feels that what he is doing is necessary, that he doesn't want to do this, but it's something that he has to do. So they take Dwight away. Coulson gets Rosalind to bring Daisy and Mac with them. But of course, within transport, Lash attacks, takes out Dwight, and gets away. Couple of interesting things with that attack. One, we discover that Lash can turn into a regular looking human. We don't know if he's male or female, I'm assuming male. But again, this is all done in shadow, so we just get to see him kind of shrink down in shadow. This is how he's getting around, this is how he's remaining undetected. But for me, one of the more interesting points is, why doesn't he attack Daisy? And in the comics, Lash is a determiner of whether for new Inhumans, he's determined basically whether or not you are worthy of the new powers that go in. If you are worthy, he will leave you alone. If you are not, he will kill you. That's not really gone into here. Again, the description is that Lash feels his job is necessary. Dwight is helping him, one, because Lash will, I'm sure, kill him, but two, Dwight's condition seems to improve slightly when Lash kills another Inhuman. Now, whether or not this is just a psychological, like, one more is gone, or he's extremely sensitive and actually one less Inhuman in the world actually reduces some of his pain or his symptoms, we don't entirely know. And of course, he's dead before the end of the episode, so it doesn't really matter. But point being is, does he not go after Daisy because he wants to get away, because he feels his main thrust of killing Dwight in that was accomplished, or is there another reason? Do we go back to maybe she is worthy of it? Does he know that she is Jiang's daughter? We don't entirely know yet. But obviously this is going to continue forward as the hunt continues. Now, Coulson and is working very close with Rosalind Price and the rest of the ATCU. Now, he made a deal last episode for a type of partnership, basically to protect Daisy, to keep her out of their clutches. But I believe he's using that relationship to really find out more about them. Now, the backup is very helpful. S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point is still very small, so having those resources from the ATCU, especially in a manhunt after Lash and various other potentially dangerous Inhumans, it's nice to have access to that, but he doesn't entirely trust them. He is trying to find more about them, and he's willing to push a bit to find out the truth. Now, the banter, of course, between him and Rosalind Price, Constance Zimmer's character, is always very nice. You can tell there's a little bit of attraction there, a little bit of professional respect there, but definitely not entirely working together yet. It's going to be nice to see how that develops out. But more so relationship-wise, I really like how Coulson and Daisy's relationship is developing, much more on equals than as director and subservient agent. There's a lot more agreement, there's a lot more of an equal conversation going on, kind of like what happens with Coulson and May. And of course, Coulson does one of the best lines of the week, laser finger. I'm sorry, I love that. That's going to be hashtag. That's going to be trending. It has to be. Meanwhile, over on the Hydra side, we have Ward. And Brett Dalton's really got to be relishing this manifestation of Ward's character. He is trying to rebuild Hydra from the ashes, but really relishing every moment, really kind of in his element. However, he does seem to have a little bit of S.H.I.E.L.D. missing going on in his heart. He is referring himself as director. He's joking about information not being available. It's level 7. He's even trying to come up with a code name for the base, all very S.H.I.E.L.D. things, which for the Hydra elements, for the Hydra people, are kind of a joke. They're kind of enjoying this sort of play back and forth. But I wonder if it's really kind of a sneak into Ward's character that he's missing being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent a lot more than he's willing to admit. But Hunter's pursuit of Ward is making him sloppy, something that May quickly points out. But for Ward, it's kind of an obsession, and it seems to be centered around Bobby. He explicitly says he has to do this before Bobby recovers. Now, the idea with that is does he fear that Bobby's going to go after Ward herself and maybe not recover enough, will not succeed? I mean, obviously, he's very protective about her. Or does he feel that she won't be able to recover completely without Ward being taken out? That if Ward is out there, there's always going to be some second guess, some mental hinge that's not going to be functioning quite right within Bobby, that's not going to let her fully embrace being an agent again. We don't get into that too much, but I think these are some of the motivations of what's pushing Hunter more and more. And of course, within all of this, May and Andrew get a chance to reconnect at S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, and we get to see a little bit more of what seems to have happened on their vacation. Apparently they both had a great time, but Andrew left, and May took that very personally. Apparently a reversal of what had happened last time, that it was May that had left. This time it was Andrew. May feels that was a determination of her character for Andrew. It is not. He made a mistake. He is willing to work to try and overcome it. Perhaps they can talk about it after his next class. Warning, it's just like in Scream. I mean, it's like saying, I'll be right back. You know that something bad is going to happen. Now, of course, Hunter does find Ward, and as May was concerned about, he is alone in the middle of a warehouse filled with Hydra agents, all with guns, shooting at him. Very quickly, he shows up, Ward sees it's him. There's no chance for any type of secret maneuvering after this. Nothing very smooth going on. It's just, there's Ward. Oh, it's Hunter. Bang, 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 back and forth. Of course, May does show up, provide Hunter with some cover, but we find out that apparently Ward's little plan was to take the guns that Hunter had delivered with him in character as Richie, and go and cause some destruction to bring S.H.I.E.L.D. out. Why? because he has a plan to kill Andrew in front of May, making her watch. Kind of a playback as when May tricked Ward into killing Agent 33 last season. And Werner von Strucker is his tool to do this. Werner has trapped down Andrew. He and some Hydra agents have surrounded Andrew inside of what appears to be a mini market. And Ward basically makes the threat. Look, if you want to save him, put your guns out, I'll let you go. Otherwise, he's dead. I'm sure his plan was to kill him, being in a safe position and just kind of laugh, ha ha ha. But Ward's a little trapped at this moment. He's going to use this opportunity as a tool for him to get away. Unfortunately, of course, Hunter is pretty much willing to sacrifice anyone to get to Ward. And despite May's pleas, Hunter attacks Ward and does manage to wound him before Ward gets away. However, Ward does get away, and the last shot that we have of Andrew, or what we think we see of Andrew, is pants, blood-soaked floor, May calling on the phone, not answering, and Werner running out and the place exploding. What was the original plan with the gasoline? Was it to burn Andrew alive? Were they going to kidnap him? Were they supposed to kill him inside of this liquor store? I don't think so. I think it was really more to kidnap him and probably set him up, set him on fire in front of May, and really have a big psychological boom. However, we don't see that Andrew is dead. Werner went in with himself and two other Hydra agents, plus Andrew in there. Werner ran out with just him. The other two Hydra agents nowhere around. So we don't know that was Andrew's legs that we saw and blood-soaked body in the store. Maybe him, may not, because they didn't explicitly say, of course. My thoughts is that's probably one of the Hydra agents. But again, we're not going to find out for a little while. And finally, we get to Fitzsimmons. Not a whole lot going on this week with them, really kind of more character development. Simmons is trying to put on a strong face that she is okay and she is recovering. Nobody's really buying it. Andrew knows that she's hiding something, but is willing to be patient. Coulson is really concerned about her recovery. Fitz knows that things are being kept from him, especially after he finds Gemma's notebook. Interesting little shot in there. While it's mostly notes, the one thing that we do get a clear shot of looks like a constellation chart, in particular constellation of a serpent in the corner, all curled around. If that's referring back, I'd have to do some research to see if there's any particular planet, space, some sort of cosmic area that is implying to, but I think that is a bit of a hint. However, at the end of the episode, he comes right out, and that's another nice thing that I like about these two characters and the writing that is done. He doesn't come in with a worry, concern, and create a big long dialogue sequence of sharing in order for us to get to information. He comes right out and says it. Why are you trying to rebuild a portal? I've looked at all your paperwork. This is the only thing that you could be trying to do. Why are you trying to do that? Gets right to the point, which prompts Gemma to begin to open up with him. That she has to, that something happened, and it's time I tell you what went on. And that's how the episode ends. So we have to wait till next week. And next week's going to be really exciting. I'm personally really thrilled with waiting to see what is it that happened with Gemma. Where did she go? How much are they going to imply in that? It's kind of a nice little cosmic connection for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. without getting too much. I mean, obviously there's not too much they're going to be able to get into. That's more of the movie realm for it. I think Feige has his focus on what with that. They're not going to do too much, but implying some of these ideas, setting a few seeds that they can develop later on. I love the potential that they have there, and really excited to see how they're going to explain her being several months away on this deserted planet, how she survived, and what is it that happened that is compelling her to want to go back. And we, of course, will be talking about that next week right here. If you did enjoy what I had to say, please press like. Feel free to subscribe, join the group, comments in the section below. I do like to hear what you guys have to say. You can reach me on Twitter. I'm at Darren Jakes. Other than that, that's it for the week. Y'all take care. I'm D, and I will see you later.